I have been living as a full-time digital nomad across Southeast Asia for the past few months. I've essentially been living like a complete king in locations where cost of living is much lower than what you might be used to in the Western world, across several hotels, Airbnbs, essentially moving from location to location every month or sometimes even more frequently than that. And I've been doing all of that all the while making between 20 and 30,000 US dollars every single month from my laptop right here. And while I can say that traveling this much is not definitely something that I can do long term and not something I would recommend as a full-on lifestyle, but the bigger point of living this lifestyle is having location freedom, being able to decide where you live based on where you actually want to live and based on where you actually get the most for your money. And in all my videos where I talk about living this lifestyle in places like Dubai, in Thailand, in Bali, one of the most common comments I get is, well, it's nice for you to say that because you have the ability to earn money online. I can't just pack up and leave. And I fully sympathize with those comments. So in this video, I want to give you the 5 best and fastest ways that anyone can go from $0 to $10,000 a month online and become a digital nomad. For me, it took between 12 and 18 months to go from 0 to this level of income, and I will talk about the exact path that I took to do this, and the other paths in this video are not just some random thing that I found online. All of these are paths that I have personally witnessed people using to make $10,000 a month or more as a digital nomad or online in general. So the first one is going to be the simplest way, and it is going to be freelancing. So the idea here is to simply utilize some kind of skill, usually relating to technology or something that you can just do from your laptop like social media, and simply use that skill and trade your time for money. Except unlike a normal job where you work for a company in an office, you do your work on a freelance basis. So what does this mean? It means simply that there are companies out there who need work done. For example, software development, web design, who don't necessarily need to hire a full-on employee to do that work. They just have some project or some contract that needs to be fulfilled. So what they do is they hire freelancers. They just hire someone and tell them, look, this is what needs to be done. I will pay you $10,000 to do it. If you do the work, then you get paid. And that is the entire agreement. And this is really great for you as the freelancer because number one, it gives you flexibility to be anywhere in the world you want. The issue with working remotely on a remote job and having this location independence is that often there are a lot of legal requirements when it comes to working like a real job with a real employment contract outside of the country where that employment contract is. With freelancing, there is no such requirement. And often also because you don't have the same benefits and the same security that an employment contract would give a normal employee, you will also get paid a lot more than an employee for the same work to compensate for that loss of security. So this is going to be the simplest and easiest way to get started. All you need is some kind of skill, and then you need to just find some clients. And obviously the hardest part is always going to be finding the first clients. But I know people in spaces like web design, in coding, even video editing who have made well past $10,000 a month doing this online. In fact, this very video is being edited by a freelance video editor right now who lives in a completely different country to me. But the con of this is that, as you can imagine, your income is going to at some point be limited by your time because you are trading your time for money. So the next stage of freelancing is usually the next topic that we're going to talk about, which is to have an agency. What it simply means is that rather than doing a freelance work yourself, you simply get to work and then you pay someone else. So essentially you hire a freelancer yourself to actually execute the work, and you just pay the freelancer less than what you get paid by the client, and you profit the difference. What this allows you to do is essentially, let's say your calendar is now full of work because you have built your credibility as a freelance video editor, for example. What you can now do is, rather than having to decline all the extra work that you simply cannot handle, is you can still accept that work because you can simply pay someone else a little less than what you get paid to do that work, and it becomes your job to simply get in as much business as possible. Now this is great because it is a lot more scalable, but the con is that obviously this is a lot more difficult to get started. If you have no experience as a video editor yourself, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to get enough business to actually warrant hiring that work out to someone else. But once you have built enough credibility with yourself by using your skills, the next stage is that you can start hiring the work out, and turning this into more of an agency. And again, this can be done with all the same skills as freelancing itself, usually skills around technology like software development, web design, video editing, all these kinds of things. Now, the next one is going to be a personal brand. Now, the previous two parts, the value that you provide is some skill that you have. So you have a skill and you're executing that skill to provide some sort of value. With a personal brand, what you're selling is not actually a skill. What you're selling is trust. Now, let me explain what that means. And this is also the path, by the way, that I have used to build my main businesses. What a personal brand really is you building trust in some niche or some area. So essentially, you have a credibility or experience in some kind of area. Let's say you are an experienced software engineer and you talk about software engineering online. People are going to listen to you if they believe that you have the credibility to talk about that topic. And as you provide more value in the form of usually information to people around that topic, you help them learn something or whatever it might be, people are going to build trust in you. And what that trust allows you to do is then build a business around that brand. And people are going to trust that business that you build because they trust you. So the business essentially becomes an extension of you. So if you provide a lot of value with learned code, like I do, for example, with my main YouTube channel, once I release a paid course on learning the code, where I obviously go into a lot more detail than I can on my free content, I provide like a full program to go from zero to a software developer, then people are going to assume, or at least be more likely to assume, that that course is going to be valuable because they already trust me because they have seen my free content on YouTube and gained value from it. So for you, you want to think about what is the area that you have most credibility in? What is something that you have experience in that most people don't have experience in, where you can provide some kind of value that most people aren't going to be able to provide? And that is probably going to be the area where you should start your personal brand. And when it comes to monetizing your personal brand, often this will come in the form of info products, some kind of course, coaching, whatever. But something that's very easy for a lot of people to start in any space is to sell some sort of branded merch with your either logo or designs on it. Now, this is actually something that I tried with a very old sort of small personal brand that I used to have around my photography. But essentially, what I would do is create print-on-demand products with my photography. And I was doing that with a platform called Printify, who are also the paid sponsor of today's video. So the way Printify works is that you can choose from tons of different products like t-shirts, mugs, backpacks, or anything you like. And then you choose your design or you create your own design by their own product creator. And then after you design these products, you can connect the products to an online store via Printify's own Printify pop-up or one of their integrations like Etsy, Shopify, eBay, and many more. And as soon as you make a sale, what's cool about this is that you don't have to deal with the actual shipment and the inventory of these actual physical products, because Printify will take care of this for you. It's only when you make a sale that they actually make the product and then ship it out to the customer. Now, this was really great for me at the time because as someone with no money and no sort of infrastructure to deal with inventory and all of this allowed me to start monetizing my brand very easily and very quickly with very low risk. And this is going to be something that is very, very easy for anyone to start. And you can get started with Printify with as little as $0 a month. So if you have a personal brand, like a small personal brand even, and you want to start monetizing it, then I recommend you check it out down below in the description. Again, thank you for Printify for sponsoring this video. Now, another way to monetize a personal brand that honestly deserves its own category, because there's also a lot of people who are just doing this as a standalone business, is going to be affiliate marketing. So the thing why affiliate marketing is effective is because usually when you have a business, you need two things. You need a product and you need marketing. Without one or the other, you can't really make money. If you don't have a product, you have nothing to sell. But if you have a product but you don't have marketing, then you might have the product, but then if no one knows about it, then you're not going to make any money, right? But as an affiliate marketer, you don't actually need to have a product, because what you do is your product is essentially your marketing. You market other people's products and you get paid a commission on all of the sales that you derive. Now, this can be done by something like a YouTube channel. In my main YouTube channel, I have several affiliate relationships. Even on this channel, I have an affiliate relationship with my business partners where I do by setup agency. Now, this is a lot more than just a simple affiliate partnership. I'm a full-on partner with them. But regardless, what this means is that oftentimes creating a product is going to take a lot of time, and there's a lot of risk involved with building a product because it takes time, and what if it doesn't work? Well, then now you've wasted a lot of time. But if you happen to be good at, let's say, running Google ads, or you happen to be good at making content on social media and getting a lot of reach, then you can simply make your business the marketing and then focus on marketing other people's products, so you can focus on the thing that you do well, which is marketing, rather than creating products. Now, I know people who have made tens and millions of dollars simply by being an affiliate marketer, and I'm not talking about like doing some Amazon affiliate program or something like that. What this is simply about is getting good at some kind of marketing. And if you do that, it's not going to be difficult to find businesses who will allow you to market for them, because it's a win-win situation for them, right? If you don't market for them, any sales that you derive for them is simply extra revenue for them. Now, the last one is perhaps the sexiest one that people like to glamorize the most, and that's going to be a software. But this is actually probably the one that I would recommend the least if you're a beginner. And I say this as someone who has tried this. So we actually ran a tech startup for around 6 months with a couple of co-founders. And while it was a great experience, it was an excellent experience, building and running a software is not for the faint-hearted. Now, why might you want to run a software? Well, the obvious benefit of a software business is that it has the highest income potential out there. Now, there's a reason why software companies have the biggest multipliers out of any category of business when it comes to actually selling the business. Where a multiplier basically just means like how much is a buyer willing to pay to buy that business relative to the revenue or the profit of that company. But the difficult part is that building a software that people actually want to use, that's actually good, is extremely difficult, and it will take a lot of time. Like, it took us months and months to build the software. Now, we made a lot of mistakes. We should have done a lot more customer validation to actually figure out whether this is a good idea, and this is going to be something you're going to have to learn a lot about if you want to build a software business. But anyway, first of all, this is going to require a lot of skill on coding. Like, you're going to need to know how to code a full-on software from scratch, which is not an easy task. By the way, if you want to learn coding, and check out my main YouTube channel. But the main con here is that it's simply very difficult to build a software that actually makes money, that people actually want to use, and it's going to take a long time probably for you to figure that out, to actually find this idea. So if you're just looking to make your first 10k a month or something, or just like make your first any kind of money online that can allow you to like move to Southeast Asia or something, then I would not recommend starting with a software. Perhaps go for a software once you already have your finances together. Perhaps you have another business that's bringing your cash flow to support your lifestyle. So if you are not yet at the point where you have an online income, where you can be location free, I hope that at least one of these paths is giving you something to think about, something that you think you could try to build this lifestyle. Now, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take time, so just be patient. But at the same time, it is not going to take as much time as you probably think it might if you just do it correctly and if you just stick to it. Now, if you're interested to find out exactly how I earn around 30,000 US dollars a month, what my exact income sources are, how the income is divided between this YouTube channel and my main YouTube channel, how exactly I monetize my personal brands, you can watch this video right here where I go into all the details around all of this. So go watch that video next.